In this video, I wanted to give you a short introduction to completing one of the eScience labs. And so what I've done on the screen here is pulled up the Blackboard course. This is lab 2, and it corresponds, our lab number 2 corresponds with the KIT lab, which is going to be number 3, entitled Mitosis and Meiosis. I want to kind of give you an overview of a few things to look out for when you go to start this lab. First of all, within this folder, you'll see I have kind of the assignment information here. This is kind of the steps you should follow to complete the lab. And so I give you step-by-step directions on what types of things to do. This also serves as an assignment link. In other words, you can click on this title link here. Now, for some reason, my icons aren't showing up right. I'm not sure about yours, but this should be like a little pencil icon here. But normally you would click on this link, and so any documents, tables, or pictures, or anything like that that I asked for in the assignment that I want you to submit, that's where you're going to submit it. And so I'll show you what that looks like. If you click on the link, this shows you, again, the assignment information. It tells you that it's a 20-point assignment. And if you scroll to the bottom, this is where you attach any files that you want to submit to me to grade. And so you just click on Browse My Computer and you select the file that you want to do. It is helpful if you can either put all of your documents together, like if you have a Word document, you can put your pictures and tables and everything inside of one document, or you can upload multiple documents at the same time. But you need to do all that together, because once you hit submit, it's only going to let you submit one time. At any time you have a problem with this part of the process, just email me your documents. That's fine as well. I'd like them through Blackboard, but if you submit something and you need to send it to me, and it doesn't, you're not sure if it goes through or whatever, you can just send it through my email, and that's fine too. So this is where you're going to submit your file. So I'm going to cancel this and kind of back up for a second. And so, like I said, you would kind of go through the step-by-step process. The first thing here I have is to click on this link, eScience number 3, Mitosis and Meiosis. And so if we scroll down, you'll see I have another link down here with the eScience file, which has the actual directions for the lab. And so when we click this, it should open a new website from eScience, and it takes you directly to this particular lab, Mitosis and Meiosis. And so I'm going to click back to my tab, and we'll kind of walk through kind of briefly a few things here. What I want you to do to begin with most labs is to kind of read over the introductory information, and then I say here to use the next button at the bottom right to kind of navigate through the lab information. So let's take a look at that. Come back to the lab. You're starting out. It gives you some learning objectives. Notice down here at the bottom is the next button. So that's the easiest way to kind of navigate through this lab information. And so hit the next. It's just going to, kind of take you down. They're very short little paragraphs. They've got some figures to kind of look at. And so the easiest way is just kind of go through next and read over the information. At any time you want to go back, all of these are live little links. You can click back if you need to, step back a little bit and look at it again. They do have some periodic little quiz questions, and you can work through these if you like to. They're not graded or anything. They're just kind of seeing, if you understand the topic as you go through. And then you can just kind of go through. Now, so that's the introduction, all right? And so let's see what else you need to do. So step 3, when you've completed the lab review or introduction, click on Assignments, Procedures, and Lab Drill, and then Assignments and Procedures from the main menu, and then click on Experiment 1, Observation of Mitosis in a Plant Cell. So let's take a look at that. Here we are. Let's say we go through all of the introductory information. We come down to the bottom. You see Assignments and Procedures, and you see Assignments and Procedures again. You click on that. It lists all of the available experiments. Sometimes we'll do all of the experiments. Sometimes we'll do 1 or 2. It just kind of depends on our time frame. And so right now we're doing Experiment 1. And so observation of mitosis in a plant cell. And so we'll click on this. That opens a new tab, which is kind of nice because now we still have our main menu still open. It just opens up into a new tab here. All right, so let's go back to the original directions. So now we're here, and it kind of tells you a little bit about the about what you're expecting for the experiment. read the procedures for experiment 1, complete part 1, and I'm telling you, which parts to do, because again, we may not complete every single part of that particular lab. So make sure you go through my directions here to find out what part of the experiment or which experiments you're actually going to be doing. So at this particular lab, I would like for you to do, experiment 1 and part 1 and part 2, and then also experiment 2, following chromosomal DNA movement through mitosis. And then at the bottom here, I have kind of a checklist of the things that you're going to be graded on. All right, so there are some tables I want you to complete. Now let me kind of step back and let me show you where that's at. Let's look at this main menu again for eScience. It shows you all the experiments. And remember, we're only doing experiment 1 and 2 for this particular lab. Over here on the right is what's called the lab workbook. All right, if you click on this, notice it says .x. It's going to open up a Word document file. And I'm going to open it with Word. And so this file is going to basically include all of the questions, whether it's a pre-lab type question that you can type directly in. Okay, and so you can type directly into this document and then you can save it. You scroll down and you see here experiment 1 and table 1 mitosis predictions. I can type here my answers, and type 2 mitosis data, number of cells in the stage, and I can go through and I can type whatever my answers are through the table. And so anytime I refer to the lab workbook, that's where you need to go. The lab workbook is here. Anytime you need to answer a question, so kind of go back again. I wanted you to complete tables 1, 2, and 3. They're from that lab workbook document. All right. Table 3 asks you, now this is a little different. Table 3 asks you to submit a drawing of a cell in each stage of the cell cycle. So you can't really draw that easily into this document. It's a Word document. Now, if you want to be creative and you want to create a drawing on a screen, you got a tablet or something you want to draw, that's perfectly fine to make a digital drawing like that. That's great. If you don't want to do that, you want to draw it on a piece of paper and you want to take a picture of it, that's great too. But that's part of your assignment. So one thing that you'll be graded on is to complete those 3 tables and submit those drawings, and that's 5 points. I want you to complete the pre-lab questions 1 through 4, post-lab questions 1 through 6, that's for experiment 1, and the post-lab questions 1 through 3 for experiment 2, that'll be 5 points. And then number 3, complete experiment 2. I want you to submit pictures for the different stages of mitosis that they have you do in the experiment. The experiment has you go through the different stages of mitosis using these little pop beads. And so I want you to kind of make your stages of mitosis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis, all that, and then show me those individual pictures. And then once you have all of this together, again, you'll have this Word document. You can put your pictures in here. These are some of the questions you'll answer here. And then, you can tack on a new page here to upload or import your pictures that you take. And that way everything is in one document. Save it as a new file. Everything's in one document. And then you submit this document to Blackboard. When you're done, you got your document, you go up here to the link again that I showed you earlier, and you upload that one document to Blackboard. And you're done. If you have multiple files, that's fine too. And again, you just have to upload all your files together. If for some reason a file doesn't get uploaded or whatever, then just send me your files through email, and that's fine too. One other thing about the eScience Labs is sometimes in the materials section, you'll see something called a slide viewer. This is a live link here. So in other words, you click on this and that takes you to some images. And so we'll see this from time to time. This is going to show you some because your kit doesn't have a microscope, it'll show you what the microscope images would look like. And so in this case, you're seeing they've taken an onion root and kind of sliced it, put it on a microscope slide. They've enlarged it 100 times, and this is what that would look like. And they've stained it so that you can see different chromosomes. And so here you see some chromosomes appearing. And so, but this particular lab, you're supposed to, name the different stages that you can see. So different labs may have you go to this section. I'm going to hit the back button here. And so different labs may have you do the slide viewer whenever you're looking at tissues. This serves as kind of your virtual microscope for these different labs. So hopefully this is helpful, just kind of giving you an overview of how some of these assignments will work and how to submit your assignments. And also one other thing, I'll put this in the announcements, but please make sure when you get your kit, please make sure that you go through and check the inventory. It should have an inventory list of everything that's supposed to be in the kit. Make sure you go through it as soon as you get it to verify that you have what you're supposed to have. If you're missing something, that's not a problem if you can locate it and realize it ahead of time. If you're missing something, you need to go to the eScience website, call their help number, or send them an email or whatever, and they will send that missing item out to you. But if you wait until you actually need that missing item, then we're going to start running out of time. So just try to make sure you go through and check off the inventory list as soon as you get your lab kit. So I hope this was helpful. Send me an email if you have any questions. Thanks.